How's it going, guys? Winner Kills here. Welcome to a brand new post-commentary duel video. And the first duel video of many that have been filmed in my brand new studio slash office, which is basically going to be my dedicated go-to spot for filming and editing. If you guys have been in the Discord, keeping up in the off-topic channel, all the updates have been posting. Just have now an absolutely fantastic setup to record live duels. And things of that nature, whatever it may be, test hands, deck profiles, combo videos, etc., etc. Now have an absolutely perfect setup for recording this stuff, and super excited to show you guys the finished product. We got a table and some chairs down there, and just a basic spot just to film some testing matches, such as the one you're watching right now. Infernoble Knights, piloted by my friend Adam. And me piloting that of pure Mekk Knights on the bottom. So very excited to share with you guys. This is like the first video going up on the channel that has been filmed in the studio, as I will be calling it. And we're also using that Yu-Gi-Oh! Neuron app on the right. It's actually a pretty handy app. If you guys haven't checked it out, you should. I'm not sponsored to say that, but it is, I think, genuinely a pretty cool app. But Infernobles, of course, post Rise of the Duelist, now that that set is pretty much out, actually today as I'm doing the commentary for this, finally receiving those cards such as Durendal, also getting their hands on the Oliver and the Ogier, or whatever you want to call it, alongside that of the Infernoble Knight Emperor Charles and the Infernoble Knight Captain Roland, alongside Astolfo, and, the whole rest of the crew. So the deck actually being fully playable here in the TCG, which is very nice to see. So Sublimation Knight, or Sublime Knight, grabbing that of Squeak Knight, going for Isolde, and activating that pivotal first effect, which will grab, in most cases, another Ignite. In this particular build, I know some builds do not play Ignites. I personally am a fan of the Ignites at the moment. I probably will continue to be for some time. They are great extenders in the form of a pendulum summon, and also offering great surge capabilities. So, unfortunately, I do not have any response in my opening hand for Mekk Knight to be able to stop that secondary effect of Isolde, which is pretty rough, considering the fact that it is probably one of the best effects to resolve here, and probably one of the effects that you absolutely want to stop if you have the opportunity to do so, because it is going to go ahead and basically allow the deck to go ahead and grab Renault, which is a great extender to have here. And not only is Renault great, but Renault is basically going to allow you to add whatever equip spell you send off of that, of Isolde. In this case, it's going to be Durendal, and Durendal gets you an extender in that of Ogier, or not Ogier, Oliver, I think is the same now. It's just Oliver. There's no I before the E now. It's just Oliver. So yeah, Oliver's great. Key tuner here to be able to go into that of Needle Fiber. My friend was new to the combo, so if it looks like I'm helping him not mess up his combo, it's because I am. So now going to summon the almighty Hulk of Fibrax that has seemed to have found its way into pretty much every deck this format, if you can fit it. And that will, of course, summon out none other than Mecha Phantom Beast O-Lion. And I'm going to go ahead and synchro here as the classic combo goes for the Martial Metal Marcher here. And that is going to revive, not that of O-Lion here, but that of the Oliver, which is importantly going to come out as a level 4 tuner, which is pretty important here, because you'll need to synchro now for the new Infernoble Knight monster out of Rise of the Duelist, and that is the Infernoble Knight Captain Roland. I wish that card was a super rare at least. It is a little disappointing to see as a common, but that just means it's not going to break the bank to try to get it. But, nonetheless, going into the big funny plane, the Mecha Phantom Beast Auroradon. That'll go ahead and spit out 3 tokens real quick, and I'm going to go ahead and synchro now into the Borreload Savage Dragon with that of Infernoble Knight Roland, and a level 3 token. And that is going to equip Isolde for a total of 2 counters. Now here we're going to see a level 9 synchro. And going for that of the Infernoble Knight Emperor Charles, or Chuck. You can also have the opportunity to go for the Trishula, Dragon of the Ice Barrier here if you so desire to do. You can also go for something maybe like Coral Dragon, which I've seen has found its way into some builds to possibly get an additional draw, which is actually something I might go for in the future at the cost of an extra deck slot. But I don't think it would be too bad, since there is some space within the extra deck, at least that I am finding. Importantly here, opening a copy, actually opening that one-of copy of Smoke Grenade of the Thief, which is huge here, because he can essentially use its effect twice with the help of the Mecha Phantom Beast Auroradon. He'll equip it to the Charles, and then use the effect of Auroradon to destroy it by attributing itself, and that'll discard a Mind Control out of my hand. Now, end phase, using the effect of the graveyard effect, rather, of the Infernoble Knight, well, not really the graveyard effect, but the end phase effect of the Infernoble Knight Captain Roland, which is to send and equip to add a warrior, and then also comboing with that the effect of Charles, which is to equip it with an equip spell from the grave, and then to equip it with a warrior from the deck. Equipping it with that for the Ogier, knocking another card out of my hand in the form of that World Legacy's Memory. So, not much I can do there. He just basically cherry picks 2 cards out of my hand, and not going to do me too good, especially top decking that Mekk Knight Red Moon. Not what you really want to see. So, sides in place here. This time actually opening up some resistance for this cutscene. This is a new way I'm calling combos. It's just basically a cutscene. Is what you get to sit back and watch. But I've got a little bit of interaction here, which is nice. You guys will also basically be able to see, essentially, you know, how much the deck, Infernobles anyways, can, you know, sort of play through a bit of resistance, which is nice. It's always nice to see any deck be able to not lose instantly to one hand trap, although it can happen to any deck, obviously, depending on the hand. So, going for the Sublime Knight, and then special summoning the Roland to get back Durendal immediately. So a bit of an interesting line of play here. Again, still new to the deck, so if he's not making the most optimal plays, go easy on him. He is still learning and trying to get better with the deck as time goes on. So we had search that Ignite Crusader, level 3. Again, more opportunities for pendulum summons or searching. And here is going to attempt to use the second effect of a soul, where I will have that effect Veiler. And I believe it looks like he's going to dump 2 equip spells to the graveyard. And of course, dumping the equip spells is a cost. So he will get to send them regardless, which is actually pretty good on his behalf, because, you know, if he did per se have a way to get those equip spells back, you know, they're already in the grave for him. They don't get to stay in the deck, which I guess in some cases is nice. So he's going to go ahead and link off that Sold for none other than Link Ross. And that is going to summon out 2 more tokens. And since Renaud is a tuner here, or Renaud rather, that French pronunciation, I'm trying not to butcher, he will try to get into Halka Fibrax. I'm going to meet that with an Impermanence, hoping that I've at least got enough here to slow him down to the point where he just won't have much resistance. But then again, you know, Ignites are still in the question here, in the equation, I guess would be a better way to say it, which still leaves him with plenty of room to extend and possibly search out other options. Just finding out a way how to do that. 2 tokens left on the field. Cannot be used for Link summons since they were from Link Cross, so still some opportunities for some synchro plays. So possibly looking for things like maybe Roland, or that of Herald of the Arclight with a possible level 3 setup. So going for now the Pendulum Scales, as you might have expect. Going for that of Margrave, and I believe that is Crusader. And he's going to Pendulum Summon now, that of Oliver. And going to get into that Infernoble Knight Captain Roland, which is great. Not going to really have too much to step into right now. Again, this is where having a Coral Dragon, I believe as he mentioned there, would be nice. And I think Coral Dragon may find its way into my extra deck as well. It's pretty niche, but it can come up again with the Martial Metal Marcher combo. And it can also just come up here when you're a little bit short on combo pieces. You're just a little bit short on, you know, exactly what you need. And, you know, again, it's better than nothing, I guess. And also gets the Roland into the grave, etc., etc. So if you can get into, you know, Charles, you have that opportunity to take advantage of the equip effect, the quick effect of Roland in the grave. And then, of course, the scales going to blow themselves up to grab none other than that Immortal Phoenix Gearfried. So this turn is just an example of why I personally like the Ignites and what they sort of bring to the table. And that is that he was able to get the Oliver on the field in a situation where he might really not have been able to. But you know, the Pendulum Summon allowing that play to go through. And not only that, but allowing for the search of Immortal Phoenix Gearfried, which is just incredible. And also being able to get that on the field, and then Oliver in Graveyard to be able to re-equip itself to that of Gearfried to make the negation live. But also going to play Durendal from hand. You might actually be forgetting about the Graveyard effect of Oliver here, instead of feeling the need to play the equip spell of Durendal just to have the opportunity to negate. But either way, now using the effect of Roland on field to send another copy of Durendal from the deck to the grave in order to search a warrior monster here in the end phase. And I believe he's going to add the smaller version of Roland. I think that's the card's name. I could be wrong. It's like the other ultra rare out of the set. So that's going to do it for his turn. And I'll pass it back over to me. And I've got Lightning Storm. Feels good, man. Unfortunately, did not foresee it. And leaves the Gearfried in attack position. But what can you do? So, feels good, man, on the Lightning Storm. He will, though, however, the unforeseen sort of effect you're activating is the effect of Durendal in the grave. That will revive, you know, the Renault when it is destroyed while it is equipped, and that will in itself get Gearfried back on that special summon of Renault. So, now following up with the normal summon of that Gearsu, going to dump that World Legacy World Armor to the graveyard and go ahead and summon out tokens while I control no monsters. And here we're going to go just basically off to the races. Go for the standard combo here with Lib, the World Legacy, or the World Key Blade Master. And I go ahead and set that World Legacy Succession. Go ahead and revive that of the World Legacy World Armor, which is for some reason I always put in defense position. But I got to get in the habit of putting it in attack position because it is a 2,500 body at the end of the day. It's pretty relevant, especially when it comes to a board like this where I just need to clear things off his field. And try to set up sort of a stranglehold for the next turn, which Mekk Knights can very easily do with cards like Memory, Secrets, Key, etc., etc. Well, Key not really being too relevant in this particular matchup. You know, it can be in some others. So, Memory going for purple. And it's unfortunate here that I had no other way to access purple or blue without Memory. So, that's basically going to mean that I can't do sort of access code Nightmare Unicorn shenanigans here, as I am now locked into Mekk Knights only. But we'll take that Blue Sky Search. You see there's Morningstar. And I'm going to go ahead and discard that Indigo Eclipse, search another Memory for next turn. So again, the Stranglehold that I was talking about with Memory and Secrets. You see I also have a copy of Ash Blossom in hand as well, which is fantastic. So going into the battle phase here. And he's going to use the effect on the attack declaration of the Roland to equip it to the Infernoble Knight Captain Roland, which is going to boost its attack up by 500. So I changed my attack target to go into the Renault and then attack the Tatsunoko because I really don't want to let him get that Roland into the graveyard to be able to use its effect. So I end up shuffling it back with Lib and setting 2 and ending my turn there. Not able to deal any damage here, unfortunately, but, you know, still dealing some damage in terms of advantage and what he's going to be able to do this following turn. So he's going to actually normal summon the 6 Samurai Genba here. And I believe now is going to go for a level 3 Synchro for that of Martial Metal Marcher. And going to revive here, we'll see. He does have my level 1 token on his side of the field. So could potentially come back and get a pretty good Synchro on the field. Whether it be something like Adamancipator Risen Dragite with that level 5 on the field. If he's got a level 3 Engrave, that would be fantastic to have here. But you may or may not have it. And again, Roland is a tuner alongside Marcher. So He's actually decided his target's going to be Oliver. So I will be responding with that Herald of the, or not Herald of the Arclight, but the Indigo Eclipse off Secret. And speaking of Herald of the Arclight, there it is. In that next column over. Now he's going to special summon Renault from hand. Attempt to activate its effect. And making sure he's not summoning it in the same column that Avermax is in. You know, to make sure he just doesn't, you know, throw that effect out the window. He's going to go ahead and attempt to add back, at least target Durendal, it looks like, in the graveyard. And obviously I'm debating on whether or not I want to respond. So he's going to attempt to activate Herald. And I will chain in response to Herald World Legacy's Memory. So it activates on the field, it resolves on the field. So where Herald tried to resolve, it will be negated because there is a Mekk Knight there now. And my other Indigo will be able to slide over uninterrupted and negate the Renault. And then before he's able to equip something to Immortal Phoenix Gearfried, I quickly slide over the other effect, using the other Indigo that I had to make sure he cannot use its Battle Phase effect. And therefore not get a negation on it. Even if he does get something equipped to, he will not be able to use the negation so long as that Indigo Eclipse is there. And it was very important to get that Indigo over there in that window, because if I was late on it, he would have equipped Oliver to it. The negation is there, and you know, I only had one more Indigo effect left to use to slide over. But again, this is exactly what I was talking about. It's not super extravagant, and he's going to concede there as we head into Game 3. And as we do head into Game 3, I'd like to mention a quick shout-out to our sponsor at Imperium Duelist. If you guys are interested in any of these play mats that we are using, the Toon Frenzy mat on the bottom there, they're version 2, featuring Blackluster Soldier, Harpy, you know, Toon Red Eyes Black Dragon, and Toon Summon Skull. Or the Solemn Wars playmat on the other side. Absolutely gorgeous playmat. If you guys want to pick those up, or any of the sleeves that we are using, or any dice or deck boxes, check them out at the link in the description, and you can use that discount code WinnerKills10 off. Should be on the screen right now. You can use that code at checkoff to save 10% off your entire order and support the channel in the process. And of course, if you guys are buying anything on TCG Player, whether it be Rise of the Duelist stuff, whatever it may be, use that affiliate link to them down in the description, because anytime you guys buy anything using that link, a small bit of revenue from your purchase will go right back into the channel, which of course is greatly appreciated and does help out more than you would think. So getting back into the game here, obviously Infernoble Knight wanting to go first here, but I also kind of want to go second because my deck sort of thrives off of him doing things, and I also play a lot of hand traps, so it kind of goes hand in hand. But saving here that effect veiler for that key second effect of Assault. Don't care too much about the first one, really care more about the second one. So what happened there is he summoned the Fire Flint Lady, and then instead of summoning Renault by its own effect, used Fire Flint Lady's effect to tribute itself to summon a level 4 lower warrior from the hand that could not be targeted. So he summons Renault, adds back Durendal that way. Durendal grabbing Oliver here, linking his soul now into that of Link Cross, summoning Oliver by tributing Renault. And again, I think using the Fire Flint Lady there is great versus the way he wanted to do it, which was to summon Fire Flint Lady, then to summon Renault via its own effect. But obviously, saving Renault's hand effect to special summon it is very, very important, because you can use that for key extension later on for extra synchro plays or whatever it may be. So if you can save the effect, if you don't absolutely have to use it, I think the more better off you will be. So obviously we'll see Halka Fibrax in the classic Martial Metal Marcher play, bringing back that of Oliver and another token from O-Line. It's sort of the classic combo playing out here. The Infernoble Knight Captain Roland coming out. Going to attempt to activate his effect, so it will resolve in the end phase. And again here, trying to help him out, remembering what the combo sequence would be. Going for that big funny plane to summon out 3 more tokens. And again, this is where that Coral Dragon effect, or that Coral Dragon addition to the extra deck could come up, unless I'm missing some sort of restriction here, which I don't think I am. You could easily synchro Marcher into that of Coral Dragon. Coral Dragon would become a tuner by Marcher's own effect, but that doesn't matter because it's already a tuner. And then you just synchro that level 6 with the 3 into Charles, pick up an additional card. Maybe it's another Ignite, you never know. And maybe that helps you complete your scales to get a search of a Gearfried. So yeah, and this is like something I'm actually just now completely realizing on the fly of how good Coral Dragon might actually be within this deck. If I'm thinking it works like the way I think it does, otherwise I could be wrong. But using now the effect of Roland Engraved to dump the Smoke Grenade to add Gearfried for a pivotal follow-up. You could also go for something like Stardust Charge Warrior as well. Really just, you know, up to you, I guess. But I guess Coral Dragon could be a bit better in the fact that it does offer, I believe, a little bit of interruption. So that's not always so bad, especially if you're going second. But, you know, it really depends on the situation. So now resolving that key effect of Smoke Grenade after resolving the effect of Charles to equip with the Smoke Grenade and also equip it with that of Ogier. And he'll knock a Blue Sky out of my hand, which is pretty rough. Now, he's given himself a given myself a column here, thanks to the Borreload Savage Dragon, as I resolve a Galaxy Cyclone to hit his Cosmic Cyclone. A lot of Cyclones here. And then I follow up with another Lightning Storm, seemingly not learning his lesson too much from Game 2. You know, obviously should have left his monsters in defense position, but luckily for him, Charles is equipped with Ogier. Therefore, it means it cannot be destroyed by card effects, and he is forced to burn that Borreload Savage Negate right then and there. So yeah, I mean, luckily for him, it could have been worse, you know, if he didn't have, you know, if he didn't have the negation to begin with, he would have just lost his entire board. But luckily, getting access to Borreload Savage is great, and obviously having that Charles be protected by that of Ogier is fantastic. So going to now resolve that of World Legacy Memory, which is going to grab me purple, and it's going to grab me Blue Sky. And again, he's created a column here for me, probably unintentionally. And it's pretty hard, though. I will say this. It is pretty hard with a deck like Infernoble Knight that is inherently just going to create easy columns for a deck like Mekk Knight. It's pretty hard to dodge that. I would say that is probably one disadvantage Infernoble Knight has is going against Mekk Knight, is that inherent effect that, you know, you're going to be equipping things, 1 to 2, maybe 3 things in a given turn. And that can just do a whole lot of not good for you in terms of, you know, creating advantage, more potential room for a Mekk Knight deck to work with. It's just one of those things you kind of got to, you know, take it how it is. And really not too much you can do to play around it. Other than try to not create free columns. You'll create a lot of potential columns, but, you know, some cases you might not be able to avoid it. So I go ahead and summon out Red Moon here. The reason I went for Succession here was because I was thinking I could go for Succession to revive the Indigo in my graveyard, summon Red Moon, pop Savage, and then use Indigo to move it over to pop the Auroradon, but I completely forgot about the Roland, so I switched it up and instead went for Secret, because that would just be a better long-term card to search instead of the greedy overextension play, because if he sees me add Succession, you know, he can just immediately use Roland, destroy my Morningstar, and make that card completely dead right then and there. He doesn't even need to wait for me to use it. It would be actually too late if he waited for me to use it, because the way the effects would resolve. Yeah, it would just make it completely useless. So end phase here, using the effect of Charles once again to equip it with Smoke Grenade, and also the small Roland from deck, which is great for the resource recursion that card offers. A little bit of a tech choice. I'm not currently running it in my build, but that's not to say I might, you know, run it in the future, because I might experiment with it. You never know. So he's going to summon out that God Phoenix Gearfried, as you might have expected. He is going to now try to use Auroradon to pop a card, and it's basically just bait. He has Cosmic Cyclone for my Secret, and I can't do much there to stop the oncoming onslaught. Yeah, actually no damage dealt that entire match. I know, pretty strange, but you do get those matches every now and then where it's not really a war of life points, but it's just a war of advantage, you know, which is, you know, in some formats more common than others. But yeah, that's going to do it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Please leave a like if you did. It is greatly appreciated. And yeah, let me know if you guys are excited to see more in-person feature matches. I know I am. I'm really, really excited to get more live duels going up to you guys. I think you guys have missed them just as much, if not more, than I have. So they should definitely be trying to, you know, make a stable return to the channel here. You know, and I actually am able to go to locals again, so you know, locals feature matches may return very soon also. So again, thank you guys for your patience. Thank you guys for, of course, the continued support, and as always, guys, thank you so much for watching. We're gonna kill signing out. We'll see you guys in the next one. Of course, a huge shout out goes to my Divine Level channel members here on YouTube: Academic Thick, Travis Harris, and Zors. Thank you guys so much for continuing to generously support the channel as you have. Of course, it is greatly appreciated.